What up, y'all?
Okay.
What up, E?
Envy!
What's up, guys?
Envy.
Welcome
What's up?
back.
I know, right? I feel like it's been too long.
I know.
Oh my
The
God.
prodigal son has returned, damn it.
And I will never let Flip get between us again. I'm sorry, my loyalties were
Oh
divided.
my
Oh my
God.
goodness.
Freaking Flip.
Ever since I put them two together, Envy's been like, yeah, I don't know. I see you on his phone log 20 minutes before he invades my house. So oh my goodness. All right. So well, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, men, women, and children of all ages. Let's get this. Oh my goodness. Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Miss Jones reunion show. The next episode.
The next episode. I was like, I dare you. I dare you to know the number.
It's 22.
22. Let's take a look at our sponsors.
Tired of fake lashes that leave a mess? Or have you looking like you've got caterpillars on your face? Well, the Diamond Brink store is here for it all. They've got natural mink lashes that are cruelty-free, reusable, super soft, and comfortable. They've also got a wing 3D effect. Check out the lashes at the Diamond Brink store at myshopify.com. 300 Entertainment, the home of Megan Thee Stallion, would like to congratulate Megan Thee Stallion on her recent BET Award. 6inchshoes.com. 6inch Shoes is a high-end online shoe store with a huge collection of stunning footwear and accessories. Step up your look with 6inch Shoes and accessories from global brands and local designers. You can count on 6inch Shoes to elevate your style quotient and stand out in the crowd with stylish footwear and accessories. For more information, go to 6inchshoes.com. Deja B Coloring. Deja B Coloring is the home of adult coloring books that help busy women relax, de-stress, and create while providing positive images of Black and brown women. They have adult coloring books that celebrate Black love, help you turn your dreams into reality, Mommy and Me coloring books, and much more. They even have color and sip kits that you can use to host your own color and sip events. It's not just a coloring book with Deja B Coloring, but an experience. For more information, please visit www.dejabcoloring.com and you can follow them on IG listed below. All Jonesy Morning Show reunion people get 10% off by using the promo code MissJones10. Deja B Coloring.
What's up? This is Michael Sean for Miss Jones Morning Show Reunion. And Mobile Break guys have changed the game. Their mobile brake repair experts will come to your house, office, or anywhere you like to have your brake repair service, saving you time and energy. Many companies charge a premium for convenience. Not them. It's just a benefit of their unique business model. You can also book an oil change with a book brake service. Mobile Brake guys, changing the game.
This portion of the Miss Jones in the Morning reunion show is brought to you by Hashtag Photos. From weddings to private events, let Hashtag Photos elevate your next event with the all-new Mirror X interactive smart photo booth. Mention Jonesy in the Morning and receive the VIP red carpet experience. For more information, visit www.hashtagphotos.com. That's the word hashtag FOTOZ.com.
This portion of the Miss Jones in the Morning Show reunion is brought to you by our friends at Sarah Brown Caterers. With their new location in Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard, you can make a reservation now. Go swim, enjoy the island, and come back for a catered meal. Plan for your friends. They'll cook and cater for you. The information's right before you. Sarah Brown Caterers. And let's go. So, alls I know
Alls I know.
Alls I know is the last time I spoke to you, you were schlepping some cars. You were schlepping cars to Coachella.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, Coachella was great. First of all, shout out to everybody that came. If you came, thank you. We had over 16,000 people. It was crazy. I mean, Coachella was just a big family car show, from everything from cars to
The double
amusement
Dutch.
rides. double dutch,
Yes.
face paint. And people are surprised to know how to double. I'm from Queens, you know. The girls did double dutch, so you did it with the girls. Like
They
that's
dragged
what it
you
was as a
in.
kid, right?
Facts.
I know how to. Don't. What did they say? Don't double. What is it? Double.
Double-handed.
Double-handed.
Yeah, double. Yeah, exactly. Yup.
You know, you learned all that. So yeah, you know, but it was good, man. We had a good time. The kids had a good time, so I'm super duper excited.
Yo, your family is super competitive. First, I was shocked because Envy hit a few tricks while he was doing it. I can double dutch. I can't do no extra. Like it's basic 2 feet go up, 2 feet go down, and then you. But when your wife, you said your family is competitive, and your wife was like, she looked like she was ready to battle for real. I said, wait a second.
She gets busy, mind you. 5 months pregnant. She's
5 months pregnant. And what?
Oh my God.
She's doing pop-ups. She's doing double taps.
Yes.
Big shout out to Gia. Gia looks she looks amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you gonna have a baby shower?
I don't want one. I feel like after like 2, 3, you shouldn't have any more.
Yeah.
But this is the last one, so maybe it just be like a celebration, bitches. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
drink. So we might do it when the baby's born, so Gia could drink. So that way we could just it's a wrap.
Nice.
It's over. We all drink and have a good time.
Is this
That's
your last
an idea.
one?
Yes.
Okay, he said that too quickly.
Yes, this is it. This is it.
Okay.
I mean, don't get it twisted. I love my babies, but this is it.
So what does Gia say? Does Gia say it's the last one?
Yeah, well, this one wasn't necessarily planned. This one wasn't.
Oh.
This one wasn't planned. We wanted to have another one maybe 2 years ago, and we tried in vitro. We tried naturally. It didn't work. And this one was just like,
pop.
Yeah, I'm like I don't. She was like, it was one of those. When did I get my period last? I'm like, you asking me? She was like, don't worry. And then another week later, my period still ain't come. I'm like,
DJ Envy down with Pandemic Records. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't wait to meet this person.
Yeah.
Because that means this person is a special person.
Right? They just pop on up.
And this one's going to turn y'all out.
Well, you know what? I heard you might have extra space in your house. I heard the live the other day. You invited you invited your son, the frying pan, and all the clothes to go to Atlanta, and you were like, he was like, and I know your daddy ain't got no house, but you gonna live with him somewhere.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit. So how's the weather out there, Envy? How's the weather? How's the weather?
Don't get us started.
I was like, Joe's gonna have some extra rooms. I told my son Logan, I said, Logan, you keep acting up. I said, you and Che going out, you gonna be living out with Che, Miss Jones, because she got extra room right now. So I just let him know.
And it wasn't even Che this time.
No, I know with Jalen. I know. That's what I said. I said it's gonna be you, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
And Logan. They're gonna be living.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yo,
I didn't even know you saw that live because Jay Black texted me and was like, real quick, I need you to take that down for more reasons than you know. Talk soon and put prayer hands. And just dashed out. I didn't know you saw it.
Halfway through it, when I was watching that, I looked over my shoulder like I wasn't supposed to see this shit. I was like, I was by myself. I was like, what? I don't know if I'm.
Those hit him with the bitch. Jalen, get off my live. Matter of fact, stay on the live.
Stay on my live.
I said, poor Jalen.
It was too much. It was a lot. And then
don't get her started.
No, but
get her started.
I feel like I'm the only one going through what I'm going through, and I have to realize this is probably all 16-year-olds everywhere.
No, but that was some bitch nigga shit. When I read it, that was some, I don't know my seat. That was some bitch nigga shit. And the reason I said that was some bitch nigga shit, and I don't mean to call him a bitch, I'm just saying what he did was bitch nigga shit. The reason I said it was because exactly what you said, right? You can have your opinion as a parent, right? And so for people that don't know, the conversation was Jones wanted Jalen to take a COVID shot to go back to school. Jalen didn't want to take it. His dad called him and said, whatever you do, don't take it. Don't follow your mother. And I thought that was some bitch shit. And the reason being is we adults. We're supposed to have this conversation first, even if we're not together. We co-parent.
Yes.
You know, I really don't believe in the shot. Well, I do. Well, I don't. And we can go back and forth. And then once we finish, then we can have this conversation with our son, not on some, don't take the shot. You know what I mean? It's whack. And like what you said, it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to take the shot to get out the country, to travel, to do all those things.
Go to college.
Right? You're going to have to. So you can have that conversation. And like what you said, bro, you willing to give up everything you work for, how hard you work for being in one of the best schools in New Jersey to not take this shot because they're going to kick you out. And then what's next? Either you're going to go to public school or you're going to go down to Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Public school.
And no disrespect to Jalen, but Jalen ain't built for Atlanta. Logan ain't built for Atlanta. Logan went to Temple and he called me, Dad, you know this is hood? I'm like, yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
The whole area is hood.
It's hood. And most colleges are in the hood.
He goes, Dad, I think I'm gonna put my top up. I'm like, you better put
your top up. What? You got your top down?
You have a top in Philly? You took the top to Philly?
They're not built for that. So it's like, let's be honest, like, yes,
and
I know it's cool, but you know that conversation should have been with you and your baby father. Honestly,
respectfully, because listen, I feel like I'm getting the brunt of everything simply because I opened the email. And I'm glad that I did, because based on the time that he has to report back for early season training, the 14 days before, after the second shot, you got to factor those days in. So then I said, fuck, we too late to even get him a first shot.
Right.
So I start panicking. This is Sunday morning. I go on CVS and they're like, if he can come in today, we can get him his second shot by August 1st, quarantine, and be able to be back to school by August 15th. I was just trying to save the situation until you can figure something out. And then all these daggers are pointed at me like I'm pro-vaccine. I didn't create listen, I don't have all the answers, but I know his father didn't even have another plan.
Right.
If you are against it, come up with a plan. Do you have a school in Atlanta that's comparable to the school here that's not requiring a vaccine? What's the plan? You just can't double down in dumbness.
Yeah.
And fuck up his future because you don't have one.
You're right. No, you what you said, but and I know there's people that don't believe in the vaccine, and I get it and I understand. But what you got to understand is they're gonna make you get the vaccine to travel. You know, they're gonna make you get the vaccine to get, and I'm seeing it right now. Like to go to some games, you gotta have the vaccine. Now, Logan was the same way. Logan was like, I'm not getting the vaccine, this, that, and the other, yada yada. I said, okay. I said, word, you want to go to Rolling Loud? You ain't going to Rolling Loud without a vaccine. Next day, that nigga made his own motherfucking. He went to Walgreens himself and got his own shot because he was like, I'm not gonna let you go to Rolling Loud with thousands of kids where you can get sick and bring it back to your siblings who can't get the shot.
The little ones.
The little ones. So we went and got the vaccine the next day. But he understood, but it is what it is. But you were absolutely right. I mean, you threw a little fuck boys and bitch asses at him a little bit, but besides that, you were absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I hate being right about shit like that because at the end of the day, I just want peace and ease. Nobody like there's too much, and now there's a new strain. And none of us know what is, but I know that right now we just got to get on. Like you just got to do what they're telling you to do, and I don't know.
And the hardest thing as a parent is having to make a decision that's tough on the basis of it just being tough, but then not having support on it because ain't nobody sure about anything as a parent. Ain't nobody 100% positive about anything. You're just trying to do the right thing for your kid.
Absolutely.
You know, if it was just us, I probably wouldn't be vaccinated. If it was just me and I had nobody else to worry about, but you know, you got a family to worry about. So you put yourself in these situations, but to not have support or anybody support you on the sidebar, that should even add more fuel to the fire.
But my thing, go ahead. Well, my thing is, you should be worried about yourself, Michael Sean. You should, right?
Well, I'm reckless. Well, no, I'm playing. I'm kidding.
Okay. Because everybody's like, oh, you know, I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for this person. And that's great. But do it for you. We know that 600,000 people died. That's a fact. We got another portion of the country who can't go back to work because they're still dealing with mental health issues associated with it, asthma, long hauler, neuropathy, all kinds of stuff. So listen, I am in the public health field in my professional life. I was skeptical about it when they first started talking about it, right? Because I was like, damn, that's fast. What did I do? I cracked open a mother-loving book. Right? You go to the CDC's website, you start reading from reliable sources about what's going on. You speak to reliable people. And what did I find? The science was already there.
Yeah, but they don't believe Trump has he's poisoned the truth
The
of
well, yeah.
everything, that the pool got piss in it now.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
can't,
That's fair. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I get that, but what bothers me is that at the end of all of these days, I'm always left to clean everybody's shit up.
All day.
I'm
That's
gonna
the
be the
story
one
of the Black
searching for
woman.
new schools. I'm gonna be the one sending over paperwork, introducing coaches, trying to make
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
extra shifts at the strip club. I don't even know
Oh,
anymore.
whoa, whoa.
And he sends, and we don't have to harp on this, but he sends a text after that.
Uh-oh.
Our son's entire foundation of who he was becoming as a man has been shattered by the only person who he knew could keep him safe. This is the face of a person who has been broken inside and out. You have to fix this ASAP or you will lose your son forever. So now you step back outside of the parent circle and you're outside telling me what I should have done when you can't. I didn't know people could be that stupid.
Lord.
Yeah, that's called the parenting, but in the convenience version, the convenient version, to be able to step back and then put that guilt trip on you. All right.
But on a brighter note, straight off of Drink Champs, I still am.
Let's clap it up for Drink Champs.
Yeah, I'm clapping it up for the quality and how good the show. I still got major issues,
I
but
watched the whole thing last night and this morning. 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, you did watch it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing. I mean, I loved it. I mean, you were very honest.
Thank you.
A little too honest at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love the whole thing. I mean, you learned a lot. And the crazy thing is, you think you work with somebody for so long, and you know
Mm-hmm.
so long, then you realize, damn, there's so much to people that you don't know because you
Mm-hmm.
don't ask, because you just assume, from the big pun story and the fact, when you met him, he was slim, to the music career and everything that happened. You don't necessarily know because you're like, wow, I never asked, or we never talked
Right.
about it. We talk about so many things. So I just thought it was great. And I think that, if you haven't seen it, it is 2 hours and 58 minutes, but I think that you should watch it because it gives you insight about a legend in the industry from a different angle. And I just thought it was dope.
Yep.
Thank you.
I thought
The
it was
feed, the feedback has been remarkably positive. And yeah, I'm starting to feel like maybe I was a little too honest, but whatever. And nowadays people can search and find, and so I'd rather you get it from me. But somebody's like, people are like coming up with this whole, oh, you'll never be as talented as Beyonce or Mary J. Blige, and all of their little fans are like attacking me, which is fine all day, but they're coming and they're saying things about my children. And I hate the fact that Instagram is allowing it. They're threatening my children, they're harassing my children. And even though my kids are tough and act tough like me, they're still children. But Instagram is allowing this harassment to happen. And then when I respond back, then they shut my page down, which is what they did.
They shut your page down again?
Yeah.
So the
Because-
other Jonesy that hit me early, that's you? That's the new Jonesy you have?
Yeah.
Oh, I seen it. I was like, there's somebody. Okay.
Please
sorry.
go out. Please go out. Who is that? What you want? I'm taping my show. Yes, I guess, but next time knock. What's wrong with your speaker?
Because it's not charged.
Come say hi.
No.
All right, bye.
I went to get in the shower.
Not in here though. Okay. It's back. Nigger and my family.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but with that is, you just, I mean, as long as your kids understand what's going on, and now mind you, my kids get attacked all the time. I say something on the radio.
I can imagine.
But
You do. How do you protect them?
you can't. I mean, you get to the point where what can you do? You know what I mean? It's just people are so disgusted here. I'm following you now. Yeah, but people are just disgusted, and there's nothing you can do. But it is what it is. But the reason I say you were too honest is not because I thought that you were too honest and maybe put it out. I always feel like, and this is the money side of me, I feel like should have got a check for it. You know what I mean? That could have been Miss
Oh.
Two in the book. You know what I mean? That could have been something else instead of just giving it away for free.
Oh, there's so much more. There's
Mhm.
so much more. So much more.
That was just a long trailer.
It was a long trailer.
That was a long trailer. That was a long trailer.
In research, we're talking. I was like, "Do you know that so and so from the NFL bought me a car?" She was like, "You never told me that." I'm like, "There's so much more."
Yeah, it's more.
But no, I thought it was a great interview. I thought you were very honest. I mean, I thought it was dope. And reading the comments on YouTube, everybody was like, Jones should be a part of that show. This, that, like, so I think people are really ready for you to hit radio again or some type of TV. And I can't wait to see when it happens.
I can't listen. I can't wait. I appreciate. I'm thankful. I'm grateful because I think finally I have my confidence back. Because when I left and I didn't turn back and I shifted all my energies into just making sure that my kids got where they deserve to be, I figured a life that I would never have to be back here again. But now that I'm back here and I'm able to tell my truth and not leave the perception that y'all were left with when I left radio, which was a false perception, and now tell my truth, I feel like oh my God, I just feel like.
Yeah.
And you did something I never thought that you would do that I was very shocked and very surprised.
What was that?
You apologized to Miss Info.
V. Jonesy, what did I say to you? What did I say?
Michael Sean said it.
That's when I paused. I said, what? I said, she apologized to Miss Info.
In the morning, I drive to work and that's my quiet time. Nobody calls me, nobody bothers me. The only thing I ever do every morning is I text my assistant everything that's on my mind, right? Whatever has to be done for the day. So I'm driving, I'm sitting back and I'm cruising and she's telling the stories and I'm watching it while it's playing, because watch it. And all of a sudden, you know what? I want to apologize to Miss Info. I had to pull over. I said, I thought it was going to go left. I said, let me see where this is going to go. And he was like, nah, I apologize. In hindsight, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I said, wow, Jones has evolved. I was very shocked.
What?
Big it up for the evolution. Big it up for the evolution.
The evolution. I said, that shit got me. I mean, some other stuff did too, but yeah, that was good. That was definitely, yeah. But yeah, stick with Miss Info.
Yeah.
I was very shocked about that one. And then with the whole thing happening, I forgot, there's certain parts when you explain stuff, you just forget certain things. You be like, damn, I remember that. I remember how they had me and Tay on our backs against the wall, and me and Tay just trying to breathe. You know what I mean? I remember that.
I remember it was a scary place to be.
And it just wasn't Rick Delgado, it was also Barry Mayo. So I want to say that too. You said Rick Delgado. Barry Mayo was the one that came in and said, play it, and we need some shit to go at them because whatever it was. He was the one.
Yep, he came strolling down the hallway laughing. Y'all in Memphis is crazy. I remember.
That's right.
Now, I don't know that because, again, I wasn't there. But you see how he slickly, he tried to get me out. He came to my house that night and was like, we need your head on the platter, allegedly, because he didn't want the lawyers to find out that I really wasn't responsible for it.
Well, we told.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We told because we were all in the hot seat together.
When I wasn't there, obviously, but then when you look back at it, and you look at all the craziness that went on, and all the shit that gets done now, like all the things that are said now, even our former president and all the, and you go like, this was all over the song. Like y'all really had people giving them the full court press.
Yeah.
I said, wow. I said, all right.
Well, when you think about it now and you really look back at the song, you'd be like, damn, that shit was so foul and so wrong.
Yeah.
But when you're a young individual trying to keep your job and just trying to make your way in the industry, and the person that runs the station is telling you this is what you got to do, and you're like, well, I don't want to lose my job. I got 2 kids. Tay had 1 kid at the time. You're like, all right, well, if somebody who's a radio legend is telling you to do it, you do it. Now when you can stand on your own 2 feet, if somebody comes with that shit, you're like, go suck your mama. But now, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But
and guess what? And we got through it. We pulled the resources in. I said we had to keep our show going. We needed competent bodies and talent to keep it going until we could clear things up.
Figure it out. Yep.
and rest in peace to Todd Lynn, man.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I came across some audio that someone I don't even know if I should share, but a friend of the show sent to me just on the strength of, I heard your Drink Champs interview. It was so honest and it was so fire. I thought you might find use of some of these clips. Max?
50 Cent checks in with Miss Jones in the morning.
Hey, how you doing, Miss
Good.
Jones?
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right.
Now, what's up? What made you want to call?
I just did a deal with vitamin water.
50, did you just say vitamin water?
Yeah, I bought into the company.
Oh, hell no.
Todd Lynn is really concerned about the water.
Yo, 50, I really was digging you up until you called up here with that vitamin water crap.
You don't drink vitamin water?
His fat ass
He's
drink
fat.
vitamin water, pickle water, the pig feet juice out the bodega store, everything.
Miss Jones breaks it down with 50 Cent.
50, you know I'm having a baby,
You having a baby?
but I still can drop it like it's hot, boy. Don't test me now.
Oh my God, that is so nostalgic.
Sleep in peace, Todd Lynn.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think we ever saluted him or gave him his proper roses.
Hmm.
Shout out to Todd.
Yeah, a huge talent. Had
Yes.
pilots in the works with ABC,
Hmm.
and he was going to be a great addition to our show. And he got let go. He was a casualty of the tsunami song, and then he passed away. He got really, really sick. I think that whole situation killed him, took him down. He lost
Todd-
everything. He lost his family. He lost his home.
Todd went through a lot. Like he really did, just in the comedy life as a comedian. Like you could see things that he was going through when you would do shows with him. And when he passed away, enough wasn't made out of what he had done on stage. Like enough wasn't made. There were some relationship issues that had gone on in the comedy life, but what he did on stage stood on his own. And he was an incredibly talented individual when he touched when he grabbed that microphone. He was lethal.
So to the family and the children of Todd Lynn, your dad was amazing. He was legendary. He was brilliant. And we are all better for having known him.
Absolutely.
Real talk.
Now, in true Miss Jones reunion fashion, we have a blast from my past, my humble beginnings as the blend tape queen. Those of you that know that I started my days in the industry by singing on mixtapes. So I went all the way back, and I got DJ Ron G, and he is here. He is here today to join us.
Ron G. Before we get into this, is there anything you need to tell me, research, or envy before we get into this? Is there anything you want to text me before this shit starts? Because I don't want to have that shock face again. I don't need that in my life.
Oh, so never mind. I'm going to tell you could imagine how the phone started ringing.
No, you can imagine when I told you my mom called me. My mom called me. First of all, how does she know?
Yeah. More importantly,
Because
Wendy.
that Wendy lady said something about Jonesy. Is Jonesy okay, Poppy? I said she's fine. I think.
Yumsa watches Wendy.
What? Mom is shady records when it comes to her TV viewing. She is shady when it comes to
But I'm glad
That's
that I love your
hilarious.
mom because she's always been like a mother figure to me. And she's always looked out. Envy is Wendy in hot trouble with that comment that she made?
No, but the comment was disrespectful and foul. But I mean, it's one of those things. But I thought what she said wasn't. It was foul. Like, the young man lost his life.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't like that.
What was the comment? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm out the mix on that one.
So wait, Ron, hi
Ron G.
What up, y'all? What up,
G.
y'all?
the Mix King.
Looks the
What up, Miss
same.
Jones?
So young. So she made a comment about
Made
the
a comment about the young man dying, but the whole thing wasn't like rest in peace. She was more concerned about how many TikTok followers and Instagram followers the young man had, opposed to the young man that lost his life that was positive dancing on TikTok. Which just think about it. Your family's watching, and you basically taking his life like it's nothing. Like, well, yeah, he was this, but how many followers he had? I had more followers than him. It's like,
Oh wow.
but
So schoolyard nonsense.
It's just no, it's insensitive.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear. Yeah.
Welcome.
What's good, homie?
We can't talk to you till you do your intro, man.
Do the intro.
Oh, G, you already know what time.
There you go.
So
what up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
We good.
We're good. We're hanging in here.
Having me. I appreciate the love.
Of course, you are part of the beginning. Hopefully, you're gonna be a part of the next and the now. And yeah. So wait, tell us what you're doing now.
Well, I got the morning show. I'm in Boston. Kind of like just trying to take control of the whole Boston scene. Radio out here is kind of crazy. It's nuts out here, but
what station? What station? Plug the station and the show.
It's 98.1 FM, the Urban Heat. It's a black-owned radio station, so we got them on the show. Shout out to my boy Diddy, We the Moonlight, SB John. Still doing the tracks. Working with a few people, independent artists mostly. Waiting to for you to drop something, Miss Jones. Waiting to get back in that studio with you.
I think it's going to happen this time. I know that I can't just be expecting us to do music like we did back in the day, where there was never a budget and we were just in your bedroom.
I know.
With an 8-track. It was this is how crazy it was. If I made a mistake while I was singing a song, there was no punch in.
Nope.
I had to go and re-sing all the way. You had to sing songs all the way through, but we did it.
Yeah, we had it was like a 4-track recorder. It was crazy them days, but we did it. So that.
I was gonna say, when we met, tell everybody what your impression. Or guys, can y'all interview him about me?
It got a little weird, right? It got a little weird. Tell everybody how you met me and what were your thoughts about me. Did I happen to mention me? Go ahead, Envy. Go ahead, Envy.
I want to know who's in the room. I haven't got a chance to speak and say hello to everybody.
I'm sorry. This is comedian Michael Sean, who was part of Miss Jones in the Morning in New York and in Philly.
What up, Ron?
Sean, salute.
No doubt. Right back.
And this is Tay, my producer for Miss Jones in the Morning all those years on Hot 97.
Miss Tay, hello. Pleasure to meet you.
My dear friend. And this is my dear friend. Envy. Come on.
Yeah, Envy the man. He the man. I go on Instagram, I see like Bentleys, Porsches, Ferrari. I just be like, he's killing it.
so Ron, how did you meet this Jones?
Custom made Jones.
How did you meet Jonesy?
Well, I had at that time back in the days, my man Black introduced us. My man Black, he was from Queens. He's from Miss Jones projects, and he was cousins of my homie Black Fred, and he would always come uptown in Harlem. And he was, hanging out with us. We would go to Apollo and all that stuff. When we was young. And he was like, yo, man, Ron, man, you need to meet this girl, man. And she's a singer. She's hot. And I was like, yo, Black, you already know. Just let me hear her. He was like, yo, better now. I'm going to let you hear her. I'm going to bring her to you. So I remember him just bringing her to
Black lived directly next door with my next door neighbor. That was his girlfriend. So they would always hear me singing through the wall. He would bang on the wall and be like, keep it up, or yo, do it, or like that. And then one day he came over and told me about Ron. He was like, yo, my man, you gotta come meet him. And we piled in the car and we went up to the Polo Grounds, not knowing where we was going, whose apartment we was going. The Polo Grounds is very intimidating, especially in the nighttime.
And at that time too, it was crazy.
We knocked on the door, and that's how we met.
Now let me ask you, Ron. So, a lot of people don't know, but I think, and maybe my math is wrong, but one of the first times I ever heard an R&B singer on hip hop beats and blend tracks was Miss Jones. So what gave you that concept to do it?
Well, when I was younger, my mom, she used to hate hip hop. She used to, I used to have like Gemini 1800 turntable. Remember that? The Gemini Drive joint. Yep. And I just had a dream, and then and she would always play like the soulful music, like Lou Rawls, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5s, all of them, Luther Vandross, all of the old R&B songs. And I just had a vision. I used to be like, I want to make my mom's not be banging on my door talking about turning the hip hop off. And I just was like, yo, let me just figure this out. Let me see if I could do something. And shout out to my man Unique from Mecca Audio. He will always be like, yo, Ron, yo, I need something to put in my car, man. Something to put in my whip. And something for the ladies. And I was like, I gotta figure out how can I please the younger generation and my mom's at the same time.
Wow.
So when I started doing the blends, I just had a vision. I was doing just testing stuff out in the neighborhood. A lot of the friends were like, yo, all right, it's all right. And I just started putting out blend tapes, and my man Murph, 124th Street, 7th Avenue, from J&J Variety, he was always telling me, like, Ron, if you're gonna be in this game, you better be nice, you better be bad, because you got competition out here. Mm-hmm. And I just tried to be creative with it all, and started making them blend tapes, and I was inspired to make it happen.
I want to, let me ask you another personal question I always wanted to know, right? Mm-hmm. So as a DJ coming up, you were older than me, right? Before I started DJing, I used to listen to Ron G tapes and a bunch of different DJs tapes. 2 questions. Why didn't you sign Miss Jones if you didn't? And 2, what happened to you? Because every DJ took a part of you, right? Mm-hmm. Every DJ, every mixtape DJ, every club DJ, every radio DJ. But it seems like you let them. And I always wondered, like, what happened, because the whole talking on the mic, Ron, like, that was your shit. I mean, everybody took it from you. Like, your name was mixtapes when it came to mixtapes. And then I felt like you just let other DJs take over, whether it was K Slay or Clue or whatever it may be. So did you ever sign Jones, and why didn't you?
Well, I didn't sign Miss Jones because at that time, which is very important, education is very important. That's one. And because I was coming from the mixtape, and at a young age, I wasn't sure how to go about the business at that time. And I was running around, and, everything was just test for me. You know what I mean? It was all like, I just had a vision and a dream. And my dream was to just be heard and be seen. So when I met Miss Jones, I didn't really know if I should sign her or just be a part of her record deal. I wanted something greater for her than just a mixtape lifestyle. You know what I mean? And I knew that because I came from that, I didn't want to sign her and then not make her get what she deserves. So that's why I kind of like went to Bill Stephanie and tried to structure some kind of a record deal for her so that they can, take her to that next level, and I just produce the music. And that was just my vision. Right. Plus she was already working with Doug, and I wasn't sure if Doug was going to sign her or what was going on, but all I knew is that Miss Jones was hot. She is hot. She could sing. Everybody needed to hear her voice. And at that time, I was going to make it happen for her. I just had to educate myself as the journey went on.
Right.
It's crazy, Ron. You were basically being a good dude. And in the music business, like, it doesn't get looked out when you were being a good person. You had her best interests. From what I hear, you had her best interest when everybody else had their own interest. When I just want to know, what was the first beat that you let her sing on? Like, what was the first one, and what was your reaction? Like, did you immediately know my idea is right?
I think that when I first heard her, I knew that she was going to be big. When I first heard her voice, I was like, yo, she out of here. She's dope. So I think that my first vibe with her was to see what is she comfortable singing. And we were Michael Jackson fans at that time. So whatever I did, I tried to involve a Michael Jackson sample or a loop with a hip hop beat like Top Billin' or Impeach the President, the classic hip hop beat. So somewhere around there, and she had always had her input in. She'd be like, Ron, I need to hear this, or Ron, I want to hear that, or Ron, I got an idea. So we kind of collaborated a lot of the times on a direction of what she sing on, and most likely, we put it together as a team.
Now,
back to what I was saying. So what happened with Ron G? How did Ron let all these DJs jump over him? What was Ron doing during that time?
Well, I think at the time, what happens, I wanted to get into production. I wanted, after doing so much of the mixtapes and dealing with so much of the hustlers and the streets, and it it gets overwhelming after a while, you know, and I had bigger dreams. After a while, I said, listen, I want to start producing some records. I want to take what I'm doing on the mixtape, especially after I saw Miss Jones. And after I met Miss Jones, I was like, yo, I want to do music. I want to take this to the next level. And I kind of like wanted to learn how to make music. And that kind of like took me away from the scene of the mixtapes a little bit, because I had to learn how to count bars. So I do give shout to Steve Stout, Steve Kitt, and Chill from the Gift Fresh crew. They kind of helped me learn how to do production. And that was what happened. I said, you know what? I'm gonna fall back a little bit, but I want to learn how to produce music. And then along the way, you know, everybody was coming, but I still was able to produce some great records, including Miss Jones.
And we put it down hard, because I will never forget the first time that I heard Mixes 10. I was at the Coliseum. The Coliseum was just opening up. It was early in the morning, and they were setting up. The vendors were bringing their things outside the tent. And all of a sudden I heard, I want to, wait, was that Mix 10? Yeah.
Mix 10 was Ron G. We make it up. That's all I needed to hear too. When I heard cars driving by playing it, I was like, we did it. We did it. We did it.
And I ran inside the store. You did a lot. I came here to rock some vocals and dedicate them to Ron G. That's it.
I want you to realize. We was like, we out here.
We just knew, because we had it. We were on to something. And then that damn Diddy and Mary.
Ooh, let's get to it. Let's get to it. So, Ron, did you have the same feeling that Jonesy had, that you guys created something and Diddy and Mary ran with it?
Well, I think that what it is I think that we was ahead of our time. And I think it was various executives and people who kind of took the idea and saw our vision, you know. And I always said that to myself, like, how can I turn this into millions of dollars, or how can I turn this into something big? But when you're already in a circle of executives and you already are A&R and all that stuff like that, everybody was uptown listening to us. You got to remember, we was touring off of mixtapes.
Yeah, remember that?
You know what I'm saying? We was doing stuff off of mixtapes. Everybody, I would get beeps and pages. They were like, yo, Ron, hook me up with Mick Jones, man. I'd be like, look, man, you got some money, we'll be there. We'll do a show. But otherwise,
we would get in the truck and go all the way down south.
But otherwise than that, I feel like, yeah, a couple of people did take our vibe and
okay, all right,
you know,
yeah,
do some things with it. You know, I you know, people will always run up to me and tell me that. You know, they would say, "Oh, gee, you know, you and Miss Jones, y'all was the first who was singing on mixtapes. You was the first doing the blends. You know, it's other people doing blends out there, but they wasn't doing whole blend mixtapes, and it wasn't doing like a series like I was doing. I went from 1 to 15 to 16.
Wow.
So people, you know, you may have a DJ who might have did a blend in the tape somewhere, but nobody did it like we did it. And that made the music industry kind of take from what we was doing and corporate and make it corporate.
Because they already had the resources.
Yeah.
Uptown Records was already a machine. So all they had to do,
the marketing, promotion. We was the streets.
Right. And we were the concept. And didn't Diddy come to you and ask you, to tell me if I'm wrong, to give Mary, he wanted to remix one of them songs on that Mary Jane thing that we had already done?
I'm not, I can't remember that, and I don't want to say.
Nigga, you better know. I remember.
Yeah, because you know you gotta remember.
That was not the time. That was not the time. That was not the time. Drink Champs, we back. We got it.
I remember going to his office. I used to go to Uptown Records. Like, you know, he'll call me and I would go to his office. So I remember that, but I'm not sure. I do remember him calling me to his office and he was like, "Bring me all your mixtapes and all that stuff like that." So, you know,
he said, "Bring me all your mixtapes."
Yeah, I remember him saying that to me. I do remember that.
So
Oh,
how'd
shit.
that conversation go?
I don't even remember how it went, but you know, as a young, I was like 17, 16. I was happy to just be involved.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Right.
And I said I had to learn business before anything because, you know, the music business, you got to really know what you're doing. And at that time, you know, I didn't look at it as such a big deal because I was taking other people's music myself and reinventing it. You know what I mean? So I was looping Michael Jackson. I was looping Top Bill and Impeach the President and Bismarck. You know, I was looping all those things and just put our touch to it. So I didn't look at it as, you know, that serious at that time until I started seeing dollars.
And now what bothers me is like, all right, I've gotten past it, whatever. I transform into
I think
radio.
everybody did. I think we all did.
But what bothers me now is the young kids that wasn't even fucking born that be trying to tell me, oh, Mary was this, you just jealous, you just that. Bitch, no. Mary was not that. Mary had an R&B album that was slightly jazzy. Love Without a Limit. Remember that?
I do.
That's where her at. That's where she was going. They heard our shit and beat us to the punch. So I'm cool with it, but don't ever try to take away from me some shit I created. Like he said, we collaborated. We was in his projects, the twin beds on a 4-track, putting shit together on a whim. Win.
Shout out to my little bro. He always loved Miss Jones. Like, yeah, where Miss Jones at, Ron?
Because I loved him. He just be sitting there like this. So that's the only thing that bothers me when people try and play me now and be like, no, you're not legend. No, the fuck I am. And I was the first female R&B singer to do radio. I didn't ever bring that up. I didn't even bring that up. I was
brilliant.
Thank you. But niggas want to just run by and act like, oh no, I'm the podcast queen. That shit wouldn't have even existed if I didn't give you a picture of what we look like on radio.
So, all I know is we was ahead of our time. We was way ahead of our time.
Ready to
and
fight now.
I think that, you know, as time went on, we had to learn that we were ahead of our time doing the mixtapes and Miss Jones singing on it and, you know, and all that stuff like that. So definitely was I would say a great experience at that time.
And the other part of it was because we didn't have the same money. Every time we had a banger, we had a problem getting the sample clearance. Here comes Enter Diddy again. Remember we was like, okay, we're gonna lick our wounds with Where I Wanna Be, Boy. We came up with the Lock song.
Yeah, that was
About Love Somebody Else.
Yeah, Love Somebody Else, featuring the Locks. I remember that. And Doug was in it. I remember I was telling Doug about that. Like, Doug, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Because Diddy kept saying to me that he was going to clear it. He was going to clear it. He was going to clear it. And then the label printed it up, ready for it to go. And he refused to clear it.
Wow.
So crazy. So that's why I said we learned so much as we went on, you know.
Damn, Brian, you take
trials and tribulations.
That's a new story right there.
Yeah. And you've handled it very well, Ron, because just in this small segment, I almost got fucking mad.
Well, you know, I'm humble, you know, and sometimes people will tell me that, like, gee, you're a little too humble. But you know, I always wanted to see, you know, Miss Jones be successful at whatever it was. And same thing for myself. I always try to be creative how I deal with my career. Because at the same time, you know, a lot of people, you know, come in this business and then you don't, you know, you wind up in issues with people, beats, problems, so on and so on. And I always try to keep a clear path. You know, I had a couple of the homies behind me always in my ear, you're wrong, we ain't going for it. But I always try to keep everybody level, you know what I mean?
And then you were one of the first mixtape DJs to wind up on WBLS radio.
Yeah. And that was interesting too. That was very interesting.
Why?
Go ahead.
Well, it was interesting because I was doing shows, and I remember Dr. Bob Lee came after me. And he actually went to the program director and complained about me, like, I don't want to come behind Ron G no more. You know, because I had a show on WBLS. And a lot of people might not even knew that. And it kind of bothered me because, you know, you look up to the older generation, and you're like, you know, like, y'all inspired me. All I know is he went to the program director complaining, because I used to have like celebrities come up there. Rosie Perez would just come up there and chill, you know. And right after my show was Dr. Bob Lee with the Quiet Storm. He was heated about that. He didn't like that. So the program director started kind of like giving me little issues. So I was trying to explain to him, and I actually made the Daily News with this. And I was trying to explain to him, like, you know, we can do this together. Let's work together. He do what he do, I do what I do. And he was basically like, you know, it's gonna be a new program director coming in soon. And when the new program director came in, he was trying to tell me, we want you to play slow songs for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, but that's not Ron G. I can't do that. Like, if I do that, we're not gonna be made number one. And he was like, yo, if you want to stay here, you got to do that. So I say, I don't need radio. Y'all need me. And I left. And it actually made the Daily News, because they was like, Ron G said he don't need radio. Radio needs him. I wish I had the article somewhere, but I was so upset about that, because I'm like, I never experienced a show behind me mad, you know, that I was livening up the airwaves. It was crazy.
Which is a backhanded compliment, actually. I know you didn't see it that way then, but
no, I didn't say it that way at that time.
Oh, that's grimy. Damn.
I was a little upset about that, but it is what it is.
So you and Diddy eventually you made up, and you said, when I called you, because I called Ron to give him a heads up about Drink Champs. I said, I'm dragging too many people down in the gutter with me. So I had to call Moni and like put that fire out. I had to call Mike Kaiser at the record label, put that fire out. And I called Ron and I said, I know that he was like, what did you say? That's the thing. I know you and Diddy just started speaking again, but why did you guys fall out?
We never really fell out. I just think that because he's so up there with the millions and everybody, we never ever really had contact like that. I would see him time to time, once in a while. You know, you gotta remember, Biggie was a good friend of mine. So Biggie used to come to my house all the time when I was living on Riverside in Harlem. And he used to come to my house and he used to tell me, like, yo, I'm about to do an album with Puff. And, you know, I never had a real problem with Puff after I got over what everybody was trying to feed in my ear. I was like, man, it's nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep doing what I do. But I never really had a problem. It's just that we never really had out of our contact. You know what I mean? And then when the Bad Boy tour, when they had the Bad Boy tour, I was rocking with Black Ross. Rest in peace to Black Ross. Wow. I had eye contact with Diddy. Came up to me. He was like, yo, what's up? You know. So after that, I felt good. You know what I mean? I felt like it was like a reconnection. You know what I mean? We never really had no issues at all. So I didn't want people to think that we did. We never really did. But I got a chance to shake his hand, give him a hug, and say, what up? You're wrong. You know, you good? Yeah, I'm good. So, and that was kind of like a moment for me. For so many years, we never got a chance to do that.
Well, I still got an issue with you, nigga. And Ron might be a little more forgiving than my Scorpio ass, but I know what you did last summer.
Last summer.
But you know, it all, like I said, I took it all as a blessing. You know what I mean? I definitely did.
You are very evolved.
Andy, what's your thoughts on this? What from your eyes, what did you see?
You know what? Coming from Queens, I really didn't see that much. I mean, you were in the mixtape game a legend to a lot of us. You know what I mean? Especially myself. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what Ron G looked like for years. You know what I mean? I knew your voice. It'd be one of them things, but like, you Ron G, let me hear you. You know what I mean? So that's what you were able. I don't think I met you until like the mixtape awards. I might have met you at the mixtape.
Yeah. I think that was
at the time. I was a small level, so you might have sunglassed me one time or two, but
I was always cool.
I mean, you were legends, you know what I mean? And you were on a level that we weren't there. So I always looked up to, you know, the Ronnns and the Kid Capris and all those back then, of course, Clue. So it was like, you know, it's something that you learn and you try, like what I always try to do is I try to take a little bit from everybody and make my own self. So I take what I liked about you and what I don't like, I don't use. And I would do that for everybody. And then I create what I like. And I do that with everything in life. Like even with my car shows, I go to every car show and I'll be like, I like this about that car show, but I don't like that. So I'm gonna make sure I don't do that. And that's what I took from every DJ. You know what I mean? So let's say when I came out kind of like Ron G, meaning I catered to the women. You know what I mean? No disrespect to none of the DJs, but if you really think about DJs back then, what do you think? They were big, overweight, and sloppy.
Well, goddamn.
Sorry.
Wow.
Think about it. Think about, no disrespect to every DJ, but think about Craig G, SNS, Master Flex, Mr. C. They were big, white t-shirts, over the t-shirts were over big and sloppy. Nobody wanted to beat them. No kids wanted to beat him. Right?
Sorry.
Right? But now you look at Ron G, you look at Clue, they will fly. Ron G had the glasses, had the jewel, they will fly.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna take that aspect. I'm gonna be the fly nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Not the overweight.
I appreciate that. And I think I was the first DJ wearing the mink too, because I don't think DJs were wearing minks back in them days.
Exactly, but you were the fly DJ. Only you and Clue were the fly. Clue had the cars, you were the mink. So I was like, I'm gonna take that aspect of DJing. So now when a woman comes to the DJ booth, they not seeing the big, overweight, 4X white tee.
Motherfucker here.
I'm being honest. They not seeing wet rag and
I was there one time though, you know.
The fly DJ with
it down a little bit.
I still got my mink from back then. It's a 4X, the pullover. Remember the pullover?
Oh my God.
I remember that, the white 4X t-shirt.
Yes, but I was the fly DJ. So when I first started, I used to have nothing but the women.
That's funny.
And the dudes would go, dudes would go to that club. And then what happened? The dudes start realizing, yo, Envy got the shorties in his club.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started rolling, and that was my lane in away from everybody else. But that's how I looked at it. I'm like, I don't want to be that. I came with the jewelry, with the cars. Like I pull up in the club, they'd be like, who's that? What? Who's that? Oh, that's Envy. You know what I mean? And it was different than everybody else. So I took, like I said,
True story.
Everybody, and I made my own thing.
True story. I mean, you did it in a big way, so I salute you for that. Definitely.
Thank you.
I remember being a producer at Sony, and I remember Dave McPherson was like, yo, Ron,
wow.
You know, yo, Clue got Envy and the team, and I remember y'all doing y'all thing. And I remember running around, you know, New York, and I knew that you was from Queens. I knew Clue was from Queens, and I used to be in Queens, you know, a lot. I used to be in Queens. And I always had a lot of love and support for you. I remember when Clue used to run up on me a lot at the early age, and he was like, Ron, yo, I want your man Big Light management. And Light was so wild. I was like, Light, you know, I mean, you can't do all this. True story. But
ran me away. Ron, Light used to run me. Listen, Light didn't care if you was a girl. He was the gunman for all.
But
you gonna give him your publishing. We gonna get this. You gonna give me that. He was the extortionist. And the happiest time of my life was when he went away. And he came back, and I was like,
you got stories for days, man. But Envy, I show you a lot of respect, man. You did it in a big way. Salute to you. True story.
Damn, I don't know between Diddy and Envy. I don't know who took you for more, Ron. God damn.
Did you ever have any conflict with like anybody saying you stole their style? Because you know there were other DJs that didn't get, you know, as you evolve, as things get bigger and more popular, the originators, they don't get as much credit sometimes as the.
Nah, not really. I remember that, you know, Grandmaster Vic from Queens, he was like, you know, he's my homie, and he'd be like, you're wrong, man. I was doing blends before you. And, you know, we will always talk about that, but, you know, it's always love.
Shout out to Vic.
Yeah, shout out to Vic. And I always would tell Vic, I said, Vic, but, you know, I did it in a different way, man. That's all. You know, I love you, homie. And I was really, I never really had no problems with nobody. And on the DJ level, you know, I had a few words, you know. I ain't gonna mention his name. We're gonna leave that one alone.
Oh, I'm curious. Who?
I ain't gonna talk about
it. Say the name.
Who?
But otherwise than that, it was cool.
Not WAP, right?
Nah. Me and WAP was like brothers.
I remember when WAP came out. You know, I remember when WAP, SNS, they all tried to come out and get females to sing on their tapes.
Yeah. I mean, because what we did at the time was so unique. Remember the Nollyton House, Ms. Jones? Remember the Nollyton House?
Yes.
So I think that what we did was so unique that people just took from the energy we was putting out there and created their own little lane. So it was cool.
Yeah, Wap do a shot at me one time on one of his mixtapes.
Who do I? Yeah, Wap is my homie, man. Me and Wap, you know, we go back.
Shot at me on one of his mixtapes. I was upset about that because, you know, those are the people that you looked up to. So when he threw a shot at me, I was kind of upset about it.
What was the shot, Envy? Do you remember exactly?
I didn't know that because I would have told Wap, look, man.
This was a long time ago. Wap used to rap in the beginning of his thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to love Snagglepuss.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Snagglepuss used to rap on the beginning of Wap tapes. I think Snagglepuss got locked up, but he used to be nice. And he said something like a trash envy tape or something like that.
Woo! Oh no!
But I always kept that right here because I was like, one day I'm gonna get in position.
That's envy.
But you did.
That's envy.
That's
envy.
I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna hold it, and I'm gonna hold it, and I held it.
Did you ever see him?
Nah, me and Wap, I never seen Wap. I think we might have passed each other in like one of the mixtape awards shows or something like that. But I just always remember it. And I was like, if I ever have a club with Wap, I'm gonna burn his ass down. But I'm competitive like that. And that's whoever, like whatever it is. Like even SNS is my brother. Like I love SNS. And SNS burned me down one time at Hampton University College, and to this day, if I DJ with SNS, I tell him I will try to burn SNS down.
That's the DJ competition.
That's my brother though. I love S. Like S is my brother.
Shout out to SNS. We love him.
Shout out to S. That's the homie.
He said that Ron, he told me, he said, when I saw you and Ron, he said, I was so mad. I was so heated because I wanted a Miss Jones. He said, and then he said, I did a record and I got this girl to sing on it. He said, but the movement had passed. So like, he said all the homies in Harlem was like, nah. that ain't it. That ain't the one.
They didn't have the formula.
But this is what I want you guys to know as DJs that we love and we hear. I think I said I had the best weekend of my life this past weekend because I went to this club in Southside where I probably ain't have no business.
Well, Southside
what? Queens?
Southside Queens.
God.
Don't ask, Envy. Don't ask.
Boys are shooting each other. You play Queens?
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica Queens? You bugging.
I was at, the place I was at, Envy. I was at Deja Vu.
Oh, I've been there a couple of times. Envy, you gotta remember, I used to have a house in Jamaica Queens, in St. Albans, 18th Ave.
You see Envy space right now?
That's Northside. That's Northside.
You see that bullshit? Let me tell you something. Okay, and I'm gonna get to that. Don't let me forget that Southside, Northside shit, because they trying to tell me we think we're gonna just call you Harlem because Astoria is right next to the Tri-Borough Bridge.
Stop it.
And y'all closer to Manhattan and y'all is the South Side. So Jonesy, we think like you, yeah. So we get to Deja Vu, and the DJ, I think his name is Goldfinger, a light skin.
Goldfinger. That's my
light skin, like a younger dude.
No.
The Goldfinger I know is dark skin. Skinny. Brown skin.
All the clubs in the city. Patty used to manage him.
I know, Patty Gone, right?
It's two Goldfingers.
There's two of them, right?
Yeah.
This one was shouting out Grandmaster Vic.
Well, that's Queen. That's Queen. You got it. When you go to Southside, you got to shout out Vic.
All right, so I'm learning so much. So anyway, we get into the club, me and my guy, and he goes to get our drinks. And you know me, I go beeline to the DJ booth because I need to make sure that if I'm there, people need to know,
Oh man, let's go.
champs. Come on.
Jonesy Protocol. Y'all need to know I'm here if I'm gonna be here.
If I'm gonna be here.
But before I even got to the booth, the nigga was like, I knew that was you. Give it up for Miss Jones, Queen's own. But so this is what I wanted to say to y'all. Please stop cutting off the records before we get into the best part because y'all so busy trying to burn each other down. Y'all trying to get through all the hot records.
DJ format now.
No, but you know what's funny, Ron and Envy? Listening to y'all DJ, and Jonesy, I'm the opposite of you. I hate when a DJ plays a song too long. And when I go to a club and they actually play the song, I'm like, would you go to the next fucking song so we can see how high you gonna take this club? Like, where you gonna take us? I need you to go.
But then we gotta find a happy medium because when Envy said, I'm gonna burn you down, I know what that translated means.
Yes.
We're gonna get 30 seconds or some shit, and just when the thing
Yes.
come on,
Yep.
Bam, yep.
Yep.
So, but I, you know, and not to talk DJ talk. See, this is why I hate SNS, right? When you do that to SNS stops the music, right?
Yeah.
He's SNS be mad slow with it. He poke his shit together. Now the club is just looking at this nigga like this. And SNS,
brilliant.
Water. And people looking at him like, what the fuck? And SNS be like, mic check.
Wow.
Then he goes in.
and then we be like, yeah.
That's S. And when S do that, you'd be like, you know what? I'm going home. I'm going home.
Hold up, Jonesy. We did a party where Envy and C was the DJ coming up next, and C was on the mic. Envy, I think he probably was on the tables for like 15 minutes. He played 60 songs. Like he played every fucking song.
Nobody got a hook. Nobody got to dance through the full hook.
Nobody got a hook. I think Biggie got one verse. I did
that to Flex one time, right? Flex is coming on behind me. I was like, fuck that. I played everything. The promoter comes up to me. Flex missed his flight. You got to finish the night off. I had no more records to play. I was like,
and comedian, you didn't know you were gonna headline. I ain't got no more jokes. It's over.
Yeah, I stank that shit up so bad. I mean, stank it up. Like, I was like,
that is funny. That's what you get. Ron, have y'all ever been to a show where the DJ after you says they can't play this song, or this song, or that song? Have you ever been, or are you guys that DJ?
Yeah, I ain't gonna mention his name, but yeah.
Oh, that's the same problem. That's the same person you had that problem with. Yep. That's the same person you had them words with. We gonna get this name. We gonna get this name.
Yeah, we gotta smoke it out.
Tell you, yeah, you know what it is. It's at this time, I don't think DJs do that like that anymore. But back in the days, if you're not the headliner DJ, if you're not the main DJ, the DJ before you, some DJs would be like, "Yo, don't play nothing from the 90s. Don't play nothing from 2000." You know, I never really was like that, but I remember one time I was opening up for a DJ. I forgot where I was at, and he was like, "Yo, don't play this or don't play that." And I was like, "I'm gonna play whatever I want." Kind of like what Envy was saying. You got to, in the DJ world, you got to burn it down. You can't play around because you'll be looking like you can't DJ if you allow that to happen. So you got to be at all times. That's just life.
This is I don't think that there's ever been as much focus on the DJ or the mixtape part of the culture. Like you guys definitely are like a cornerstone, especially in my opinion, to the 90s when it really got started and there was really resources and y'all could get deals and there was real actual money and salaries involved. This is like a huge part of the culture that we ignore. Now, watch someone steal that concept and go do a documentary on it, but you heard it here first.
I already started a documentary.
Dope.
And the reason being is it's better to come from a DJ. Like there's different areas and elements. You know what I mean? Like I was there duplicating tapes, and then when the tapes left, duplicating CDs and all the bootleggers and beating up bootleggers because they ain't got your money, or beating up bootleggers because they bootlegging your shit. And like, so that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing now. I'm trying to, because it's so many, and it's like, you know, it's so many mixtape DJs. So what we're starting to do is really set up, you know, how it started. Who was the first one to do it?
I want in, Envy. I want in.
Most popular one, how it started, how things got happened. Because I mean, there's so many, and not, you know, because people just think of, when you're in New York, all you think is Ron G, DJ Clue. You know what I mean? But you know, there's Drama, there is there's DJ.
Shout out to the homie Drama. That's my peeps too.
There's so many different DJs that has so much influence on the game. You know what I mean? It's like it's something it's an untold story. So I would hate for somebody outside to tell it, then we tell it ourselves. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely
excellent.
Look, great ideas. And Ron has to be a part, obviously.
I would hope so. You know, when I was, I remember a couple of years back, this was maybe a decade or so, I was trying to do a mixtape album. And I was trying to do it with Corey Rooney and Tommy Mottola. And I remember we all had these visions, you know what I mean? And I remember Corey was Tommy actually had signed Peter Gunn's son. What's his name?
Corey.
Corey Guns. He signed Corey Guns, right? And I had this song with Tupac, and he was trying to tell me he wanted me to put Corey Guns on a song with Tupac. And I was like, and I was trying to tell Tommy, I was like, Tommy, that won't work. You know, to me, it just won't work. And because of that one situation, the whole deal fell apart.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was focused on that particular situation, putting Corey Guns on a song with Tupac. And
why did you think it wouldn't work?
Because at the time, the style of Corey Guns was not where Tupac was at. You know what I mean? You had that. It's just people wouldn't have visualized it. You know, Tupac, like in that era, people wouldn't have understood Corey Guns with a Tupac. You know what I mean? Like, it just, in my opinion, they wouldn't.
What year was that?
I think that was like the 99 or 2000, something like that.
Oh yeah, he was young.
Yeah, it was young. Like it was like he didn't even put out a song yet, and he was just signed to Casablanca Records at the time. And I remember that, and we all had these visions, and I just was like, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I think that was a good call.
I think it was too, but at the end of the day, the deal fell through. Though, you know, after that, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
What type of money is there to be made as a blend, as a mixtape DJ? Yeah, what would an annual salary look like then and now?
Now I would say, unless you're signed to a major label and you can get clearances, it can be a big deal, but you got to know how to go about it all. I think Clue and Envy, you did good with that. I think Clue and Flex did amazing jobs with far as New York with the mixtape albums. Flex did a good job too, but at the same time, you know, his album was a lot more different. Clue did it professionally. He did it in a big way. And I was always trying to get to that level. And I was telling Tommy, like, yo, you can't be, you know, and it just didn't work. But it all depends on how you structure your deal, you know, and what kind of advance you get and what kind of money you get and what kind of budget you have, you know. I just couldn't see nothing like that happening at that time, and it'd be a successful record. I just couldn't see that. But it can happen. It can work. I don't know about now though. You know, now it's a generation is different.
I think Khaled gets a couple million to do albums.
Yeah.
Every time he does it. I know when I did my project, I got $750 to do my album.
Mm-hmm.
I got $750. They gave me $150 up front to sign, and then the rest was for artists, producers, and clearance samples. And you know, you just had to pay artists. I remember about the story. Jay-Z charged me $30,000.
Woo!
And that was
but it was worth it, right?
Yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah, he wanted singles. He wanted all singles in
wait, what?
Air Force One box, or all 20s in the Air Force One box with the numbers had to be like in order.
What kind of hazing?
What?
Phi Beta Kappa
in my head.
Yeah, so like let's say, you know, on the serial numbers on the $20 bills, it say 001.
Yeah.
002, 003, 004, 005, 006. Yeah, he wanted that. So we got Jay that.
Have you told this story before?
I never heard that before.
He didn't. You know, me and Nori didn't talk for years because Nori tried to charge me. Now, mind you, I used to pick up Nori in my car and drive him to the city. Nori tried to charge me like $50,000.
For what?
For a song. He tried to charge me more than Jay-Z, but Nori was my friend.
Right.
He tried to charge me $50,000. So me and Nori stopped talking for like 5 years. The more than that, probably 10 years.
10,000, 5,000 a year.
Nori charged me. I think Ja Rule charged me like $50,000, $60,000. 50 Cent did it for free.
See, 50's your friend.
Shout out to 50s.
Juvenile did it for free. Birdman charged 30,000. This is before Birdman was hotter than Wayne. We didn't even want Wayne at the time. We wanted Birdman. What is that?
Wow.
Now Envy was.
Ja Rule owes you a refund. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, you shut up. Stop right now. Stop it. Stop
Somebody
it.
said body.
Say body. But for Nori, was Super Thug out? Was Nori like, was he on? I know he was your friend, but was he on fire at that moment?
Nori was on fire. Yeah, Nori was on fire.
how do you deal with the artists when they're like that? How do you hold the grudge? Do you
Yeah, he does.
Envy,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Envy holds a grudge.
Have you met my friend Envy?
That's why I never did an album again, because I felt like that was the hardest thing for me to do in life, to ask a peer for a favor and then have to chase them. Like that was like when you have a record and you need me to play your record, you call me and I give you the record. But now, I remember Jay-Z, we used to have to pay the bottle girls at the club and be like, yo, when Jay comes in the club, call me. And they would call, and then we would jet to the club to catch him to try to get the verse. Like, that's what we had to do. Like, I was chasing artists around. And after that, I was like, I'll never chase another artist. Even with my car show, I don't want a rapper at my show. You know, it's easy to go wrong. Let me borrow your car for a day. You'll be like, all right, cool. I don't want, if I deal with, I got to call you. I got to call your stylist, your road manager, your real manager, your booking. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to call artists. I just, yo, can I borrow your car? I'll come get a car service to pick it up. I'll return it to you. I have insurance. I don't want to call artists for nothing. I don't want you hosting my part. I don't call artists to host my parties unless they my friend. Never calling you ever. I just don't. I don't like dealing with artists.
I felt like that a tiny bit because it's a lot. Like you said, it's a lot. You know, but I would have never thought that you had to deal with so much.
Yeah, but that's what Khaled's so great. Khaled, and this is no disrespect to Khaled. Khaled doesn't have an ego. He will call an artist 36 times for a verse, and that works for him. I'm from New York. If I call you once and I say, yo, can you do this? And you say yes, yes means you're gonna do it. Not yes, but you gotta catch me when you catch me. I got 5 kids and one on the way. I'm chasing them all day.
Woo! Congratulations. Congratulations, homie.
Oh, that's right.
But when it comes back around and when that bitch come back around,
here go Envy. Here you go.
Right here, my nigga. Right. Oh, you need what? You need what? What? You need what? When? Nah, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
That's my friend Envy.
How much? It's not enough. I'm sorry.
I might need a few lessons from Envy because you know he could teach me a thing or two for the new generation.
I think if you just tell Envy the name of the DJ that you had a problem with, he would probably.
That's amazing.
So Ron, I'm glad that this is all like perfect timing because I had a meeting with Bill Stephanie yesterday.
Woo! How did it go?
Well, without going into detail, we had him on the show and we kind of made up then. And then it dawned on me why I left Stepson is because I had the setup for the next single and he wouldn't clear the sample. So he wouldn't clear this. It was always, that song was going to be fire too. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to play it. We should probably play it, Max, and let everybody hear it. But that's why. But so now this is the 30th anniversary of Stepson Records. So I'm just going to say we've got something huge because you know my album never got released. So we've got a huge something to announce really soon. And I'm thinking that your phone will probably be ringing in the next
I'm
few
gonna
weeks.
keep my ear to the phone. Ms. Jones, do you remember when Def Jam wanted to sign you too? Do you remember that?
I remember.
And you went to Motown.
But I went to
Motown. It was remember when Def Jam was trying to sign you and you had to make a decision between Stepson Entertainment and Def Jam?
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Back then, Jones. I'm about to fight him right now.
Wait, what?
I said, who was your manager back then? You picked Stepson over Def Jam?
Yeah, I remember that.
Home of LL Cool J, Run DMC.
No, I don't remember that. You got me the deal at Stepson.
Stepson. But this was the thing. And I remember that Russell Simmons, I remember you saying to me that Russell Simmons wanted to sign you to Def Jam, but he wanted to put your album out next year, a year later. And Bill Stephanie wanted you to come out now. And I remember that, and you had a decision to make. I remember that. I don't know if you remember that.
Remember that. Now I remember that after I was on Stepson, Lior and Russell and Andre Harrell, they both showed up to Chaz and Wilson's, and I got on stage after Faith. I remember that, and I sung, and that's when they both called me after stage, negotiating. They were like done with. They're like, you're leaving Bill Stephanie. You ain't gonna be there. it's just going to be one of us, Def Jam or Motown. But I looked at it as Def Jam or Andre Harrell.
Wow.
I said Andre had success with the R&B, Def Jam not so much, because the last time they had R&B was Allison Williams.
Yeah. This is history tonight, y'all. History.
Okay, I can see the rationale. Envy completely does not agree.
Yeah. I haven't had a drink since September 1st, but that story got me on the verge of the relapse, right?
No.
And you know what's crazy? I did, as I started producing, I did get a chance to produce with some great artists, you know. And you know, like Fat Joe, you know, I did the We Thuggin' for Fat Joe and R. Kelly. That Fat Joe sold women. You saw the Jennifer Lopez LL Cool J. I did remixes for 2K, Kelly Rowland stole, and Can't Nobody. Cheeks from Lost Boys. I did Me and My Crazy World. Certain Things We Do. Trey Songz, Gotta Make It remix featuring Aretha Franklin. I did a lot of remixes and a lot of hits. So I did have a unique blessing, and you know, to still make that money from the royalties and all that. But one of the things I always wanted was to see Miss Jones go platinum. Always wanted to see that. So I can't wait to see what's coming for the 2022. I'm gonna tell you. I can't wait. You don't know how many people was like, Mom, where's Miss Jones? I'm like, man, I'm trying to find her myself.
Yeah. I was inside, but now Southside, we outside.
Guys, I gotta go because I gotta put these kids.
We all gotta go.
Yep. I got a house for the kids too.
Yeah.
But a sleepover.
Ron, it's so good catching up, and we're always in touch. But thank you for coming through. I know we had a few snags, and we usually tape on Sunday, but thank you for being flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out your morning show again, because I'll be waking up for your morning mix. So tell them.
Yes, well, my morning show, it is inspired by, you know, Envy, Charlamagne, and Angela Yee. It is inspired by y'all. Y'all are doing it in a big way. But my morning show, we are called the Morning Cafe Show. And, you know, and it's me, which is Dita Weeda, Moonlight, and SB John. And we just have fun. You know, being in this market, it's not like a New York market. So the energy is a little different. But Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, you can listen to us on the app at 98.1 FM, the Urban Heat, or the website, heat981fm.com. And we're just trying to do it, you know.
And your IG, because I go on IG and I listen to you mix.
Okay, nice. Yeah, my IG is Legendary DJ Ron G. Or you can hit me on my website, legendarydjrong.com. And, you know, just trying to do it. Trying to keep it, you know, keep it positive.
Yeah.
And keep going.
That's dope. That's dope.
For Ron G. Legendary DJ Ron. Come on, Ron G. Ron G.
Ron G.
All right, bye, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all.
Jadakiss. Locks, baby. Miss Jones. Worldwide. Ron G. Uptown. Motown.
Every night and day, I see your face and different right, you gotta count me in, play. Yeah. Hey yo, you simply gone broke trying to keep up with the Joneses. R&B, she own this. Hot 97, wild players want a bonus. Keeping shit real, spinning chips on Rodale. Get plays and blaze with Ace on Sugarhead.
Damn, my honey looks stunning. Could have my first son in. Gotta stay coming. When it's 7 a.m., I got the Jeep running. She think I'm dissing her and she losing sleep from it. Your friends talk too much, they don't know about thugging. You bugging. Heard you with another cat hugging. You can't honestly say you feel him in your stomach. That boy you hang with, know your body language. You really love me, just feeling anguish. One day you realize he can't fill up my boots while he laid on his back and I'm building up my loot. Butter suede suit in the Chevy looking heavy. I'm coming back, baby, and tell me, are you ready? For what? For my love Jones. What? Love Jones. What, baby? What?
Whatever.
What?
Check this out. I told you.